Tom Thomas is a numbers guy.
Back when I was going to school, math was easy for me, statistics came easy.
So when he went to work in Oklahoma's Department of Vocational and Technical Education,
I went into research planning and evaluation and kind of grew up at the State Department. I started there when I was 22.
and began a career using data to guide decisions.
And we had a lot of opportunity for growth. We were very well liked by the legislature at the time, so we were well funded, we were able to grow. And having that research function available let us do some cutting edge things that, and people said, and I didn't see it that way, but they said I had a knack of looking at that statistical data, finding the patterns, and being able to explain to people what that meant in everyday language so they could use it for decision making.
A skill Tom even applies to his personal life.
My wife and I had a daughter. And when I was born, 3 of my grandparents had already passed. So it was important for me to get my daughter around my parents. And of course, by then my parents had given up on ever having grandchildren.
So Tom headed home to Lawton and Great Plains Technology Center.
It was perfect timing for me because Sarah was 6 months old. And I came and Kenneth took a chance.
And while the job was new, Tom's data-driven approach remained the same.
I saw every year 500 kids drop out of Comanche County schools.
The edge pieces. You're going to have a total for all that.
As you start looking at those kids, they're not bad kids, they're not different kids. It was a relevancy issue for a lot of them.
Take your tape measures, you're going to have to get pen and paper, okay? Go finish that project.
At Great Plains, we got out of the box a lot of times based upon not always just data, but the need to do things for the community that really weren't, some people would consider not the core role of CareerTech, but the local board here let us do them anyway, and I think like the SCORE program. SCORE was dropout recovery, and it was not a big deal for CareerTech when we started. And I think it's worked well for us. You know, kids will always ask you, why do I have to learn algebra? How am I ever going to use algebra? Well, you can take them out into the carpentry shop and show them to figure out the length of a rafter. You need to know the run and the rise, and it's Pythagorean's theorem that gives you that. So to me, it was need, and it was also that, if not us, who? If they've dropped out of high school, and we don't do something with them, who's left in the community to do something with them? If the military won't take them, where are they going to end up? They're going to end up in another system we don't want them in. That's way more expensive than anything we've ever done in CareerTech. So it was need, and really I have, over the years, I've come to embrace the underdog, I think. Those kids that really I felt left out, don't find anything for them, parents aren't treating them well, parents aren't around, they need to have family somewhere, and SCORE became that family for a lot of them.
Helping students and the community they live in.
If you've got 500 kids a year non-productive in your communities, that's labor force you really need, and you need to engage them and give them skills that are marketable. And usually what I told everybody was, they just want what we have. They want a good job. And we're in a position to give it to them. They don't know the pathway. They just know that what I'm getting in high school is not working for me. I'm out of here. And that's a horrible decision, but it's a decision made daily. And so, if we can be there to lift them up, re-engage them in the academics, give them a reason to learn the academics, to me that was a win-win-win-win deal.
After 40 plus years as a CareerTech educator, 6 of those as Great Plains superintendent, Tom Thomas retired in July of 2016 and headed out to see some country.
The retirement was short-lived. I retired July 1st. Early August, my son and I took off on a long motorcycle ride. 7,000 miles, 29 days, every state west of Oklahoma, plus Alberta, British Columbia. We made it as far as Vancouver.
When Tom got a phone call from the Lawton Fort Sill Economic Development Corporation asking him to come home and lead the group through a transition.
I came back from the motorcycle ride on Saturday and started down here on Monday.
Guiding the organization with the same data-driven approach that served him so well at CareerTech.
One of the reasons I was willing to take this on, I got here in 1986 and I've worked with every economic developer in Lawton since that time. And what I saw was that most often, aside from the land, the facility, what businesses are interested in is, do you have people with the skill sets I need to operate my plant and keep my plant running? And so we always got involved in economic development deals at Great Plains in Lawton. And to me, it's just a symbiotic relationship. You can't do great economic development without CareerTech being a piece of that.
So no matter the job, Tom does the numbers, always aware that behind every number is a person.
I want a lot of families to have a better life than they had before they came to Great Plains or any CareerTech. You know, and again, all they want is what we have, and that's a good job.
Tom Thomas, 2017 inductee into the Oklahoma CareerTech Hall of Fame.